Yo, welcome to Team Radd Titan, and today I've got a special guest. This is Marvel Meddins, a good friend of mine, has been collecting, OG collector, Jonathan Meddins, and he has graciously brought this piece to review, which is the last level Psylocke. This is a fan art piece. We're going to be going through it, talking about why Johnny pulled the trigger. Hopefully not have to use any subtitles. He's from a little place called Birmingham in the UK, so he's going to bring a little bit of gangster to this review, add a little bit more mass and meat to it. And we're going to be letting you know what we think, and we'll also be going through with our fan audience and seeing what they all think about it as well. So hopefully it's all going to be nice and positive, and Franco Calissimo, the sculptor, will be over the moon. Peace.
Hey guys, this is Marvel Meddings from Birmingham, here with a Psylocke last level custom statue review.
Now just cut you. You actually have quite a few of these last level pieces. You're like a big customer of this.
Yeah.
How many have you got now?
I've got 3 in hand.
And how many?
And I've got about 5 more, 6 more on the way in eventually.
Okay, so tell us what we know about Cyclops. So obviously for Psylocke, shut up. What we know about Psylocke, she's Xmen royalty. So first appearance is
New Mutants Annual 2.
Sweet, well done, very good. It's a seamless transition, no problems. And then, what made you think about, this is a serious bit of real estate piece. What made you put, why this Psylocke? There's so many.
I mean, obviously I collect Xmen. I want one of every character. I've got the original Sideshow one.
Comiquette or the PF?
The premium format.
I really like the Comiquette version. I think it's lovely, that piece.
I had the Comiquette as well, which I sold that.
This is a lot of real estate to give a character this. Is there something that made you just think, it has to happen?
That ass.
Okay. If you missed that was that arse.
That ass.
Yeah, that ass.
No,
if you're from London now, you'd think it was your ass, but it's not your ass, it's your arse. So that arse, yes.
When Franco did the sculpt,
we better show it now.
And they posted it. It was just like the sexiest representation of her, and she looked so powerful the way she's just walking through that. Like it was like nothing to her, just sliced it in two. I was just like,
that is it.
And you get like 4 heads, like 5 different arms, a side blade, 3 swords, a massive base.
This is making Graven Labs bases look kind of like insignificant. Like they should have upscaled them slightly.
Yeah, this is it's a big portion of the statue, but.
Would you class this as a diorama? It's probably close. It has to be, doesn't it? It has to.
I think the diorama has to have 2 characters, doesn't it?
Technically speaking, that hand.
Sensibly is a character.
You would. It's so much real estate. Will it turn?
I've got to get involved.
It's actually good. It does turn, dude. That's a start. I have to say.
It takes 45 kilos, I think.
I have to say off the bat that this. So basically, when you unbox this piece. This is at the very bottom. This whole bottom section, minus these 2 sections of the hand, is one of the heaviest single pieces I've ever picked up. It is absolutely ludicrous. And then you've got the palm.
4 layers.
You've got the palm in this hand, and then the thumb separately. All of the fingers come away, and basically it's a funny keying system where it basically slots in, and due to the weight of the finger, it sort of leans down, and that twisting technique actually holds it in because it's not really magnetized very well. So if you straighten them up, they will just fall out. So when you're putting them in, put the finger in and let the weight of the finger dictate, and then just leave it alone, because it is actually quite they're just really heavy. It's a stupidly heavy piece. So what's the edition size on this? Was it 60?
65.
65. So you've got 65 pieces. You come with 4 different heads, swords, 4 different arms, side blade, crazy.
So you can imagine the different setups. I think there's probably about 30 different ways you can have her. With all the hands and heads.
Now there were some criticisms about this, really, with some of the portraits. What do you think after seeing them now in hand?
They're not too bad, to be honest. Some of them I like more than others, but I think it's like you say, it's not so much the sculpt; it was the paint on them. I think
sometimes a bit heavy, yeah.
Yeah, but I actually think they've painted it quite well. If you look, they've like whitened the cheeks and gone rosier underneath, so it adds that like effect when you're doing your makeup.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. I mean, you've got a little girl, so you probably know a little bit about that sort of business, don't you? I mean, I've got a little boy, so I don't know anything about any of that, really.
But I heard that he likes like little bunny toys.
He does, little pink ones that you bought him. So thank you very much. But he bought my son a little pink teddy bear or something for his birthday, which was just a lovely, lovely gesture. So let's start on the base and work our way up. As we were talking about, so she's cut the sentinel hand. And you know what's also quite interesting? It's very popular this year, the year that's just gone by. In 2019, there's been a lot of walking statues. And I actually don't think they've been done very well. This is probably one of the better walking pieces I've seen.
Yeah.
I actually think that Sideshow did a few, and I really don't think they pulled it off. What do you think?
Yeah, I think she looks like she's definitely mid-flow, and she's just sliced that into no hassle with a side blade. I don't know I think if you put the sword in this hand, is it going to make as much sense because she's like
Slice through it.
Slice through it, and it's got all this side like purple colour on the inside.
Yeah.
So really, you got to keep that for it to make sense. If you put this blade in, you're not going to slice it with the blade, is she? I don't know.
I have to be honest though, the composition of it with both swords was very nice.
Yeah, it does
I
look
have
nice.
to show you, we'll change them over and show you, but it sort of V's it out ever so slightly, and it's actually really, really nice.
But I think if I'm going to display it, I'm going to have the side blade in the hand for it to make sense for me. And
Psylocke's powers are she uses telekinesis, telepathy, and she can actually focus her power to make this sort of psi energy blade. She can basically manipulate it to actually work in a functional way. Oh, and she's very empathetic, according to my boy Paul Geigley over there. He told me she's empathetic is another superpower that she possesses, which is nice. So she makes Lithia.
Yeah. But it's a very, very heavy statue as well. I think it's like, just that base alone was...
What would you say it was?
Got to be 50 kilos, and the whole statue, probably about 40 kilos, I would think.
It's crazy, man.
Like
I've got to be honest, it's one of the biggest sort
Did
of...
it say the weight on the box?
Yeah, I think it's 30 something, isn't it?
37 kilos, if it's...
30.81 kilos.
30
Yeah.
0.8. It feels a lot heavier than that, doesn't it? But was that making like a £70 statue?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, obviously, this is sculpted by Franco Carissimo, and he is. Last Level at the moment is one of the premium. I mean, they are top stuff at the moment. There's some of the best stuff coming out is coming from their studio, and not surprisingly so. He's a very talented man. Let's get onto the figure and work our way up from it. You know, we had a little bit of an issue getting her actually into the base, but was it a little bit of an obstruction in the hole?
Yeah, there was a bit of debris on the one side. Alex cleaned that out.
What do you think of the paint? Like in the body?
I think the body's been painted well, with the reflective like leather look on the
rubber in it. It's like rubber, almost like
was it like
latex?
An S&M sort of.
And obviously we saw that she's got a lot of flesh, so you want to make sure because the skin's probably the
her bum is
hardest
spectacular. I'm not going to deny it. It's absolutely fantastic. There's no doubt she's squatting. She is definitely doing some good mornings and some squats. There's no doubt about that.
And I'm definitely trying to see if I can get my wife to do a bit of that side boobage going on.
Get one of them. That'd be a nice touch. It's an interesting thing with the light up actually is that whole section comes out, and then it's the two batteries, which are almost like watch batteries, are separated by a piece of plastic. So when you pull it out, it will instantly light up. You need to keep hold of that so that you can place it back into the little slot and break up the batteries. Otherwise, you're going to lose power pretty fast.
I think there's a section where we can put the this other.
What the sword?
Tying it into the actual base somewhere, isn't it? I'm not too sure where, but
we have to have a look and find. So let's have a look at the when you go onto the portraits, because these were the heavily criticised areas.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think?
To me, I think probably that
quite delicate parts as well on these with the hair.
I think probably that one's probably the weakest. With it behind her ears.
I don't mind that. I just don't like her sort of. She's got like I'll show you some pictures, but she's got like very thick eyelashes.
Yeah.
And I don't think that works very well. Yeah, I mean, funny they are very different. Actually, the face sculptures, the actual sculpt itself. Forget about the paint. They're actually quite different. Her nose is smaller in one. Her eyes are sort of slightly more apart in others. So they've got a few different likenesses there from the different eras of comics. I think they did a really good job. Don't look the same each one. No. I've not really seen this, but this is quite new. This is Phoenix like thing going around their face.
Comics sort of.
It's a psychic butterfly.
Go on, my man. Go on, Dan. It's a psychic butterfly. Does that mean she's more empathetic at this exact moment?
It's kind of the way it's just been visualised in the history of the comics, you know.
Yeah.
Aurora.
And what sort of we talking about?
I think it made it more for the girls to get like her, because girls like butterflies, so girls were like.
You going with that, are you? Do they like them?
I think this is
Does
like,
your girl like butterflies? Is that what you mean?
my daughter loves butterflies,
Yeah, well, there
so
you
she'll
are.
be like, "Oh, it's pretty. Look at the butterflies." But
I mean, this is a serious piece of real estate you're going to have to give. If you're thinking about getting something like this, this is. I mean, Paul was loving this. He was loving the size of it. We were all a bit like, "Wow, this is really big. Like, it's a huge statement piece,
I've got no idea.
centerpiece, really."
No idea where I'm going to put it.
Now, I wanted to ask this question because you buy last level stuff. What scale would you say the statue is? Is she quarter scale, or is she slightly bigger than quarter scale?
I say she's quarter scale. Some of his other pieces are slightly oversized. Like I've got the Weapon X, and that's bigger than quarter scale.
And Sabretooth as well is massive as well, right?
Yeah, but I think she's not far off, to be honest.
So let's have a look. If we just measuring her, just based on her alone, what's that say?
18 inches.
18 inches. So actually, she's quite tall then. We've got to be close to what? 6 foot, female, 18 inches. It's got to be, right? My maths is not the best in the world, but I would say it's close to that. She is wearing heels though, to be noted. Where does it flaw? Where's the issues?
The magnets on these arms are not great. If you look, see that?
Yeah, got a bit of gappage going on through there as well. Is there no?
Because obviously you've got this sword in there that's putting weight on it coming down. It's not quite sitting in there really.
Does it actually turn though? That makes it more of a key, or no? There is an actual key in there as well. I see what you mean.
I find the connection of that's not great.
Yeah, I definitely would agree with you. Yeah.
With the sword.
Let's have a little switch out of the head. Are you comfortable to do that?
Yeah.
Where's the little button to turn that? Let's get. Because they're quite delicate. I'll hold them by the arm. So yeah.
We'll just put it on the camera a little bit. See that?
Put on the worst one. Yeah, I can see what you mean.
Try. Sideways, that one. That's it.
Now that actually changes it quite a lot. That turn. That's nice. I like that. That's actually really nice.
Yeah, that totally changes it, doesn't it?
That angle, that twist of the neck through with the shoulder behind like that. That's beautiful. That. And obviously the side profile. This is your weakest head, and I actually don't think that looks bad at all.
No.
And from the back, it's
our
if you-
favourite as well.
What's that?
It's our favourite we was picking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's it?
I see different horses for different courses, man.
Yeah. It definitely changes everything.
What? How many of them face sideways? Those?
Just the one.
Just that one?
Just that one.
All the others are forward. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
But kudos for him to give the options, you know.
What I love though, do you know what I really like with a statue? When I think it's been thought about and the execution, the concept of it works, is when the body position can change, but it doesn't look strange.
Yeah.
If your head can be forward and then you can turn like that and the body doesn't look off, because naturally, if you're in this position, you turn your head, your shoulders ever so slightly, see they come with you. So if you can actually capture that without it looking awkward, you've really done a good job.
The best head. Look at
That's
the
my-
flow
that's
of
my
the
favourite.
hair, the movement. It's dancing.
That's my favourite one.
That's your favourite,
Yeah.
Andy, yeah? Don't know if you can hear everybody that's on here, but everyone's throwing in their
It's a little
10
different. Let's just say you've got 5 different people.
But you've got
five different
so many
favourites.
options as well. I mean, this is where I believe that fan art and custom pieces have the benefit over license, because license companies have got such strict rules that everything gets dismissed. So many things get lost. And I mean, when you can just be like, I'm going to do 5 different heads, I'm going to do 2 arms, I'm going to do this. When you're free to do that, you know, you, as a collector, you get many more options. You want something, Vass?
Yeah, it's a good point because it's designed by committee, isn't it? When you're part of a corporate company.
Exactly.
You have
A
to
lot.
follow the structure.
Yeah, but believe it or not, when you speak to licensed companies and you say to them, like, they'll be like, I submit 4 heads, and they told me 2 of them were no good. I didn't want 2 of them, so I'm left with 2, and it can happen just that fast, you know. Whereas in obviously everybody has their little things about whether, you know, fan art stuff and custom stuff is right or wrong is irrelevant. The real facts that you have to look at is there obviously is a gap in the market that needs them, otherwise they wouldn't be doing so well.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're needed means that the licensed parts, the restrictions, are half of the reason for that happening. You know, this base, the story it's telling, you know, it's debatable whether it'd be okay.
I'm going to try and switch out with the other hand.
So yeah, we're going for swords, yeah?
Might as well.
For me, I think, to be honest with you, I have to be fair and say I think this piece has been done very well. I've seen a few last level pieces. I've always been quite impressed with the sculpt and stuff like that. Paint is strong. I mean, if I want to be picky, I could probably argue and say that the base colour compared to the hand is just a tiny bit close of how different you could have made it. You could have made it a little bit different. You could have made them shades a bit. But what it has, which I don't know if you can see on camera, is it has an almost iridescent rainbow effect through the metal of the hand. So there's blues, there's purples, there's silvers, there's greys running all the way through the metallic parts, which I don't know if it will capture it on the film, but it is there. And then you have the knuckles and the hands and all of this parts, every area where it can sort of capture that sort of colour and break up the sort of monotony of it. Because when you have a base this big, it's really important that you paint it well. Because if you don't paint it well, we've seen with other pieces, it becomes an eyesore, it becomes a distraction, a negative distraction.
Yeah, another guy's painted it, and he's painted this like yellows,
Like
and
flames.
like flames.
Yeah, like it was like it's warm. That's a nice idea as well.
Really nice.
Maybe you'd be able to get away with it with the sword in that case. Something
Yeah.
like this then. Yeah, it's quite nice with the two swords. See what I mean about how it tapers out? It adds a little bit of, it adds something. I really like it, man, Johnny. Congratulations. I'm really happy with it. I mean, it's got some really nice paint details on the zip and some other areas. So this is a keeper.
This is a keeper, yeah.
And would you say this is, having all the Psylocks that you've seen, would you say this is the king? This is the top, the queen?
It's the best one I've seen, I think.
Right, what do we reckon?
I mean, I haven't seen the Sideshow one, but
The new one?
the new one.
I feel a little bit annoyed by that, because I think that exclusive portrait should have been available for everybody. I think they knew that it was a bad portrait, the regular, and they went out and they made another one, and they thought, you know what, we'll change the colour, we'll throw it out there, we'll sell another however many hundred. And I think you should have really corrected the portrait, given people two. That would have been the better thing to do. What do we think?
What's everyone's? Give it out of 10. What is everyone?
We don't do that here. In 5 years' time, be like, you gave that an 8?
I think it looks good. I've seen it next to the Magneto one, and it looks really, really good. I don't know how they could have made it, because the size is massive.
Yeah.
You have to really like the character to keep up that much space in your collection.
Totally.
But I don't think they could have done any smaller.
Because this is two statues. This is definitely two massive statues put together, really.
But she's beautiful. Like the artist stuff.
Yeah, it's a fantastic. I mean, obviously, there's a group of men in here. We did invite females to this meet, but they declined. So,
I think as a piece of art, it's absolutely exemplary. I mean, the design, the concept, the execution, paintwork. It's really on a higher level to commercial stuff. You know, there's so much intent in there. You know, it's, as you say, telling a story.
do you know what? I've seen so many of these walking ones, and it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
There's an imbalance to that because it's a static piece, and you're trying to show it moving. That's very difficult. It's easier if you're up in the air, if you're flipping, you've got your hand somewhere, or you're jumping over, hurdling something. You have that sort of part, but with walking, I always think they look a bit wonky, just a bit off. And I really think he's captured this perfectly. I think with the hip turned in and the shoulder slightly back, I think he's just got it right. I think he sculpted it perfectly, I have to say that.
I think there's also a lot of love in it as well. David and Franco, the collaboration is born of a lot of love and passion for it.
Yeah.
And you know, they're creating art, really.
All right, give me something negative. Come on, somebody.
Not
Not you.
Anything I can see is negative is the width. Let's look at the width.
It is another base.
I don't know how well I'm going to fit this.
Another base, a screw chop base.
There is one. Someone made a
30
custom
inches wide.
Ah, right.
30 inches wide. Let's actually turn that. Let's measure
Probably
it.
even more.
Turn it off. Let's do it. That's
What's the
important.
custom base?
I think it's.
Where'd you go from?
The white. So you want to go from there, really. That is where the whitest you can get.
70 centimetres, so 27 and a half inches.
And depth, 27.5 inches.
Depth is going to be
Good point.
to here, isn't it? Really?
I'll tell you, it's like
20 inches.
it's about there.
20 inches.
Okay, and then obviously just the height of the character. which is the tallest part. Well done, John. I'll be ready, John. Well done.
It's about 20 inches again.
So the base is around 2 inches because she's around 18. We were debating whether that was actually quarter scale. So we'll have to see. Sit down.
So yeah, she's a big mama.
I'll tell you something I also did notice, which nobody else seemed to notice, is if you keep turning, there is a record button on the outside of that arm. You see it?
It's like, yeah.
That is it a record or pause?
Play.
It's a record, isn't
No,
it?
it's the extracted it. No.
No, think OG VHS. Go back to all the porn we used to watch. I'm sure that's pause.
No,
Sharon Stone
pause is
basic
like
instinct.
that.
Is it?
That's
Is that
slow,
record?
that's slow motion. It's like,
Slow motion, it might be.
Yeah.
But you remember that sort of play and then the line next to it? That symbol is there. And I
slow
don't know
motion.
what it is, but it's clearly the Sentinels they're up to something because there's a play or pause or there's a slow motion button there. Do we have anything negative?
Portraits aren't the best, and I think you're right. I think it's paint. I think it's paint related. That like weird whites on the cheeks is
You
not
can see-
fabulous.
I don't know if I'm allowed to talk, but you can see on the face that's on there now, like the cheek makeup is too white.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it's because obviously this light is not very forgiving.
Yeah, no, they
So
have
if
it
you-
on purpose.
If you have it in like a darker setting, do you want to turn it towards the camera? If you have it in a darker setting, it might be better. But in this light, it's really white underneath, like really white. But then also in this light as well, I don't know if you can see that really cool rainbow effect on the Sentinel. It's done really, really well in person.
Iridescent, my friend.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like that's done very well.
They painted it fantastic.
She's definitely like she would display really, really well as the same scale as Mystique from XM. I just want to say.
You might have a point. She's
'Cause she is-
18 inches tall. That is a big.
18 inches is like 6'1", 6'2", if you,
She
if
would
you
go
change
In
it.
heels though, that's a 5'10" female, right?
Yes,
I mean, them
okay,
heels, they're
that's
4
pretty-
inch
alright,
heels.
this
That's
thing's
a
like-
5'10".
But she's not standing up straight, is she?
Hey man, you alright?
But she's not straight. But I mean, the sculpt is overall, I think, it's done very well. I just think same comments about just the paint on the faces.
Yeah.
So good thing that it's
He got that head and sent it to
Put this side head on.
James
Like-
to say.
to say.
Put the side head on. Is that the side head?
And also, I do think that the
Till I really thought this.
James
Alex, have a
Desai
look
got
at this,
head
because
on
I
one of
really
these
thought this
views.
was quite a drastic. I really thought this was drastic change.
I was-
I actually really like it.
I think the light up should have a switch. Really.
More. I like that.
Oh
man.
wow! Yeah.
It's drastic, isn't it?
Turn
Subtle,
that
but-
towards-
And also as
Other
well,
way, other
the other way, yeah, because Alex wants to see from the back. You can see the head, so you can have a side like that. And then the great thing about this is that beautiful sculpt of her. You get to see a bit of her face and the ear, and that's sexy, man. A bit of shoulder blade. Oh yeah, I think it. Yeah, I think it's a fantastic job. I have to say, I agree. I completely agree with the criticisms of the face sculpt, the face paint. I agree with that completely.
From my side, at least,
What?
even though I raised it as one of the criticisms, it's honestly such a gorgeous statue, man. Like we're nitpicking. It's just so noticeable, especially like Alex said about the lights. But it's the anomaly because that whiteness isn't really anywhere else, so it really shines out as a difference. But other than that,
When you
it's
saw this as
gold.
just like a digital, no colour, as a render,
Yeah.
it looks amazing. It looks so
I like
good.
it like this.
I like it.
Yeah,
like
this is
with
great.
the-
I like it like that.
Yeah.
An angle.
Exactly.
Like
I'm with
displaying
you.
it like that. That
Yeah.
is.
See that
is
I'm exactly
immense.
the same. I think that's the way. That really captures the walking, the fight, the whole thing, and it's just got sexy.
And
Really
then you
love
could,
it.
because also then you capture the side of the hand where it's been sliced. You capture a lot more. than
Totally
I
agree. Totally. Very good job, man. Thanks, for our boy Johnny for bringing it to us, and be nice to him on the reviews. With Alex now, doing what he's doing, we're going to be bringing in more people, and we're going to be, extending the Radd Titan thing as much as we can, having people come on and
Radd Titan family.
Radd Titan family, exactly. Check out Marvel Medins on YouTube. He's got a lot of good content. He's got some incredible pieces. We did his room tour. We highlighted him as a collector not too long ago. His video is doing very, very well. It's an exceptional collection, one of the best balanced I've ever seen. So check him out. Like, comment, subscribe, and share with everyone you know. Hit that bell. Become part of our notification squad. The Radd Titans. No, it doesn't work, does it? It doesn't. Should we just be knights like everyone else? Should we just be knights? Radd Titan Knights.
Party night.
Just come and do that, and then obviously check us out on Instagram as well. You find the pictures, short videos of all of these under Radd underscore on Titan and follow us there. Thanks very much, mad love, and thanks to the crew. Peace.
Thanks for watching.
Yo, welcome to Team Rad Titan, and today, Alex, what happened to Alex? Well, today we're going to be doing I'll do that again. Alright. I usually don't take longer than one take, apologies.
That's what she said.
Listen, leave.
Yo, peeps.
This is fucking terrible. Is that a mock at me? It is, isn't it? That's a mock at me.
That's the Brummy version. Yo.
Alright, so 3 yos in a Brummy-ish act. Okay, you got to do like a cross.
Do you want a drink before we start?
Why is it going to take a while?
I don't know, maybe.
Well done, Gary.
Well, what's the special house? Why is she a superhero? What's the special?
You're a fucking X-Men guy.
Yeah, well,
Actually, you are the X-Men guy.
Yeah, I know, but I don't never really got into it.
Just call him Medic.
Marvel Medins is more like it's like no idea, isn't it? Really, it's like Johnny No
Go
Clue.
on like Marvel Wiki then, or so you can have a fucking look.
Science, that's a power in it. Science.
I'm gonna let you do it because they'll kill you when it was wrong. Because this is
Okay.
bad time. This isn't your fucking little shit thing you were doing.
This is what the internet says.
This is like everyone's gonna be like, what the fuck? What? Psi energy? Who?
She possesses telekinesis, telepathy, and empathy.
Thank you very much.
Empathy means to be sympathetic and.
But that's a superpower?
Well, not many people have
What about
empathy these days.
power?
Yeah, we're all a bit horrible.
The energy beams that she does.
So
Good
she's,
call. Well
she's
done.
able to focus her telepathic energies into a solid psychic knife and
Wicked.
can still manifest her telekinetic katana.
Ooh,
That's your fucking
Yeah.
introduction, you fuckhead. That's like hello or whatever. What do you do?
So that's a telekinetic
Hello, everybody.
katana.
Hello everybody, welcome to Rad Titan. Welcome and welcome and
All right, go. Let's go. Fuck
welcome
this. Come on.
to
There's a
the
big piece, a lot to do.
welcome to the Spunkin Festival.
Yeah.